So it seems like recently Mint Fantome has responded a little bit to a lot of the drama that's been going on surrounding a clip of her and Dokibird. If you guys don't remember, we looked at it in the last video. If you guys want to have a little bit more extra context and detail, you can go back and look at that. But essentially, there was a clip talking about their pastime over at Nijisanji, right? And Mint was talking about her time trying to get a visa to go to Japan, and that she was kind of promised it, and then things kind of, went, just didn't happen, and then other people ended up getting visas around her, and she never ended up getting one. And it was kind of like this whole thing where, yeah, it did sound very disappointing to her, especially whenever one of her big reasons for joining was, to get a visa. And she wasn't really high up on that priority list to get one, apparently. Now, again, a lot of people have been angry at it, especially a lot of Nijisanji fans and the more extreme ones as well, have been going after her pretty relentlessly. Because obviously they feel as if she wasn't telling the whole story or whatever, because she does mention the fact that this was around 2020. So many people pointed out the fact that, it could be due to the fact that there is COVID restrictions and stuff like that back in 2020, which obviously, visas and stuff, Japan being closed, it's kind of hard to do, which is understandable, right? But there was also, there's also the counter argument of, well, why were other people getting visas later on and she wasn't, even though this was one of the big things that she wanted from this kind of thing, right? And well, it seems like she's responded though in terms of, to a lot of the backlash that she's been getting in this one clip here. So let's just take a look and then we'll talk about it as we go along.
Just for Fathom Stream, I was kind of, lamenting about my poor luck with getting the visa and everything. And, some people were, or rather, I guess it kind of came across to some people that I was upset that my former coworkers were moving to Japan and that I was not. And that was not my intention at all. In fact, I'm very happy that that my former company would help people out more. I'm really sorry.
And that's also another thing as well. People weren't very happy, not only just over the kind of details of the like the visa and the timing of it, but also people weren't happy at her talking about like the other members that managed to get visas around her. It sounded like, people were calling her jealous and whatever, which obviously wasn't the case. It just seems like she was just a bit confused as to why she didn't get one and everyone else around her kind of was getting one, especially whenever she, so openly has said her kind of interest in, moving to Japan and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Sorry that it came off that way, and I'm sorry that they had to deal with any, backlash from that. I was just trying to joke about my bad luck with the visa process. Whoops. Sorry, my phone's about to die. So, I really didn't mean for it to come across that way, and I'm really sorry. But, I understand that, yeah, if you were passionate about something, you want to defend it, so, I understand that completely. And, yeah, I am very happy for everybody that was able to do that. It was not me trying to complain about their situation, them getting something that I didn't. I am largely past it. I think my visa situation being as bad luck as I've had it in the past couple of years, I think it's mostly funny. I'm trying to roll with the punches of everything, and everything happens for a reason. So if I move to Japan one day, I'm just trying to realize my weeaboo dreams, So, but for clarification, for anybody that is curious, I was told during the hiring process by someone very, very, very high up in the company that they would be able to do a visa for me. And then later on, when I asked about it, they said, "We've never heard of this. We can't do this for you." And they said, "We can't and we will not do this for you." So, I think anybody would be a little frustrated about that.
Which kind of changes the wording of things that I think I've heard previously, at least in the clip before that we looked at. She was kind of saying like they were being like, oh yeah, we're doing the other people's first or whatever. But here she says that, they said that they cannot do it and they will not do it, which is much different. And I think that, that's terrible if she was actually, promised that.
But I've largely left it in the past, and just to just to not cause any more confusion about my intentions in the future, I won't bring up my old workplace anymore. I don't want to cause any drama to anybody. I don't want to cause any bad feelings to anybody. I honestly didn't know anything was happening. I actually saw some people tweeting about it. And I was like, what's happening? So, I don't think it's, I'm largely moved on, and I think, we're good to just, move on as well. And I'm wishing everybody that is still there, the best experience. So, I don't want to make anybody, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. So, yeah. That's all I wanted to say. And if my former coworkers were upset at what I said as well, I want to apologize, because again, it was not my intention, and I'm really sorry that it came across like spiteful. But it was just more so me lamenting about my bad luck and my.
So yeah, obviously, as you can see, she kind of apologizes or whatever for it. Now, again, I just don't think that clip, the original clip that we looked at, was that bad. I think that, a lot of people ended up taking it way out of proportion. She was just kind of venting her frustrations about not getting a visa, right? It didn't seem like it was an attack on any of the creators that she was working with or whatever. But yeah, a lot of people saying, shame on the Niji bootlickers, shame on the fans who want to victim blame, even if they are their Oshis. Everyone who blamed Clippers or news reporters for creating drama. These people would rather keep victims quiet, and everyone just put their head in the sand rather than let the truth out. Who said, like I said before, the only unclear part was what happened to Palmer's visa process after she left. What couldn't have been clearer was that the applications being available in general was unrelated to her personal experience, much less the cause of it. There was no need for Minto to feel guilty or even just cautious about this. The Mint had outright stated that the obvious, that she was not talking anything about her co-workers or anything like that. She skewed and bad faith interpretation by Niji fans. Niji gave Mint a false promise in order to hire her, and Mint found out it was false. In the simplest form, that's a shitty thing for a company to do, and it's okay for someone to say that it was shitty. I don't blame for Mint for avoiding the topic of Niji from now on, because Nijisanjis are obsessed, unhinged K-pop stan equivalent of the Vtuber world. Just 2 weeks ago, there was a nothing burger of Twitter drama, and Mint's original visa comment made on the 10th, which was not severe enough to warrant a full week and a half of drama. So yeah, people too distracted by the demo drama now, which yeah, I mean, that's true. So it sucks. She feels like she has to placate and apologize towards making a bad faith argument against what she was saying, whilst she was doing the right thing, giving apologies for any backlash that came out of it, saying sorry directly to those who are unable to understand the context or actually listen to the words. Someone is saying way more than they deserve. It's just toxic people not willing to have empathy and realize that there can be people in the world that aren't the same as they are. And so I think she's really good at handling situations like this. She's very sincere, and I think it's good for her not to want to make anyone upset on either side. I do think the issue with the original clip was the vagueness causing people from both sides to make assumptions and tear each other's throats out, and attack Mint because of those assumptions. She didn't really intend for it to be clipped, and a huge thing though, so it's not like she had to give the details. I like her giving clarity here and laying out exactly what her issue was, leaves no room to attack her or make up lies about her. She's very kind to everyone involved, and she doesn't have to be. And yeah, I think that's fair enough, right? And it goes to show you how nice, Mint is, right? This was a very nice response. She didn't get angry at anybody or whatever. She's just like, I just want to get on. I don't want to cause drama or anything like that. And that's about it, right? And it really goes to show that, that original comment and stuff about the visa stuff wasn't supposed to be drama farmy or whatever, like people were supposed trying to claim. It just genuinely was just a conversation that people have taken way too far. And yeah, it's just kind of disappointing to see, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this situation. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.